Hello AGDQ judges, I am WRP Beta and welcome to Mafia. So first of all, I'll get the run started and then I'll start talking about the game. It's a long run anyway, so we have quite a lot of time to talk. I need to change some controls here, especially these four. These are very important, secondary controls for driving. Those are very important, and I will talk about why later. Let's go. So the timer starts as soon as we skip this cutscene over here. Now we skip it at a certain point, which lets us save about a second of turning on the car, and also it puts the enemy car in a better spot. Now
listen carefully. Gotta shake these clowns behind.
So this first mission is they shot my tire, so I'm going to reset. That is a point where I'll probably reset in a marathon run because it's right at the start.
I used to be a taxi driver.
And doing the mission with without a tire is
I was glad to be working.
a bit harder. But that is the only point where I'll reset in a marathon. Losing a tire is actually not too common. So one reset should really do it. Without the tire, I would really struggle to maneuver the car. Now the first mission is a chase. The game already starts. The game already starts pretty hard with this first mission. In fact, I think quite a few people playing casually get stuck on this for a while.
I'll show you the way.
Anyway, we just had to lose those gangsters over there, and luckily enough, they flipped their car on the stairs, so they weren't able to chase me anymore. I take a route that is the shortest to get to my destination, but also it has quite a few opportunities to just slow down the gangsters a lot, like making them crash into a pole right at the start, or making them flip on the stairs. That is the route that we normally use in this mission. The game came out in 2002. It's a GTA clone, published by Gathering of Developers and Illusion Softworks. I think it would make a great addition to AGDQ 2018 because of the nostalgia factor, for one. A lot of people played this game, and they played it back in the day, and they probably want to see it back. There are quite a few people who, on the Mafia streams that I watch, were like, hey, we used to play this game, and it's nice to see it again. So I'm sure people will like that. I'm sure people will also like that it's a GTA clone. People who like GTA games will definitely enjoy this. It appeared on I think GTA Marathon 2015 or something. Now this bridge here is RNG, and right now it's up. So that's gonna be up for a while. I'm going to reload this and maybe see if the bridge is down.
Okay, okay.
In a normal run, we would reset. In a marathon one, we would not. So this was run by Asta at GTA Marathon 2015, I believe. He actually had the bridge down too, and he actually waited for it. The bridge is still up.
Hey, could you take me to the church downtown, please?
Okay, okay.
So what I'm doing with this guy, the passenger who's supposed to hop onto the taxi, the game actually doesn't want me to move while he's telling me to take him to the church downtown. There we go, the bridge is down. So the game doesn't want me to move, so I can't use the car, I can't accelerate while he's talking. However, if I put manual gearbox and I put in reverse, then I can actually reverse while he's talking. So I am able to just get away from him so he doesn't get into the car, and that saves like a second or so. It's not a huge time save, but it's completely free. And we will be doing it on 3 of the 5 passengers that we get in this mission. And this is the second guy.
Drop me off here at the steps. Thanks. Here's the fare.
Are you taken? I need to go to the hospital, and you are.
No problem.
Now you see me looking behind myself a lot, and that is actually a glitch called the camera glitch. What happens is in this patch, which is 1.0, traffic tends to spawn where you're looking, maybe to like reduce strain on the computer or something like that, I don't know. So what happens is, if I look behind myself while I'm driving, that means that not a lot of cars will spawn in front of me. So I'll have pretty much a clear road.
Ouch! Why are you driving
Apart from the
like
cars
that?
that already spawn like that.
Oh,
Yeah, I know how to
you
drive.
got a license?
Excuse me.
Now this glitch is not completely consistent. It's actually 100% consistent and much easier to do, and also this spawns car at a lower distance on the console version of the game. However, the console version is also a much longer run. The reason why we're playing on patch 1.0 is not just the camera glitch. There are other reasons. For example,
Thanks. Here's the fare.
there will be a race later that can be skipped on this
I'm
patch,
lucky you're here. I need to get to the theater.
and it cannot be
on
skipped on
Central
newer
Ave.
patches.
Take the Giuliano Bridge so that we can get there quickly.
Whatever you want.
Anyway, this mission is the Running Man, and it's the worst mission in the game. Everyone agrees on that. There are several reasons why it's the worst. First of all, it's just driving from point A to point B 5 times, which by itself is
you
not
even know
very
how to
exciting.
drive?
I managed to get stuck there. That was embarrassing. Anyway, so the mission itself is not very exciting. And also, there are a lot of fail triggers. First of all, you cannot run over any pedestrians in this mission. If you do, you fail. Also,
Ouch!
that sidewalk
Drive
RNG, Jesus.
carefully.
Wow. The sidewalks just bumped me up. Anyway, the cops cannot want to arrest us. If they do, it's again mission failed. Also, if the passenger is complaining about our speed, we cannot go over 120 kilometers per hour if we do if mission failed. Thankfully, this is really the only mission where those three things fail the mission. Now, as far as cops go, this is not, this is still not the only mission where cops can really screw with you,
Here's the
because
money.
in most
Good try.
missions, if cops are after you, you cannot actually complete the mission or
Good day. Could you take me to Hoboken?
trigger the next
Good thing.
part
Go
of the
ahead.
mission. But there are ways around that. I also implement safe starts with cops, so that there shouldn't be a problem most of the time. Also, you saw that I didn't do the glitch with the reverse on this guy, because if I do it, it softlocks the game. For some reason. We don't know why. Now my car has lost quite a bit of power because of the crashes. So it's going a bit slower than it should be. Here we're gonna take a shortcut, the fastest way to get to our destination.
Can't you steer?
Excuse me.
It's possible to
Trying to kill us.
Don't worry, I know how to drive.
Ouch. What are you
it's
driving
possible
like this
to
for?
take that shortcut without slowing down, but it's very high chance that you just flip the car and can't continue. As far as marathon safety goes, this game is very much marathon safe. You can definitely lose time for various different reasons,
There you go. Keep the
but there is not, there aren't like huge time losses in the marathon setting that are possible.
the department store car lot in Little Italy. Can you take me there?
No problem.
Most of what the RNG boils down to is
Go across the Giuliano
something
Bridge
that will only matter in
through the
a
tunnel.
PB attempt.
It's the shortest way.
There being cars getting in front of you, cop cars,
You nearly
cops in
got us
general,
killed.
Don't worry, I know how to drive.
all that stuff. Drawbridges, those two. Again, paying very much attention to not run over any civilians in this mission. Thankfully,
I
the
said
mission
over
is
the
almost
Giuliano
over.
Bridge. Don't you know which one that is?
Now here's a cop car, so I need to slow down. I should probably explain the cop mechanics. If the cops see you
Shouldn't you slow down a
commit something illegal, then
little? Slow down a little.
they will come after you.
Shouldn't you slow down a
There
little?
are a lot of things that you can do
Don't
to
you
trigger
think you're
cops,
driving too fast?
including speeding
Slow down
and
a little.
You ain't scared, are you?
running red
Don't you think
lights.
you're
Both of
driving
those
too
are
fast?
usually not in GTA games.
Shouldn't you slow down a little?
Not as far as I know, at least.
Slow down a little.
No problem. You're doing fine.
Shouldn't you slow down a little?
Doing what I can to get you there.
The cops can have
Ouch. What are you
several
doing?
levels of
Guys,
aggro. They can you can have a ticket
Don't you think you're driving too fast?
symbol on the screen. That means that the cops want to
Shouldn't you slow
fine you,
down a little?
and
Don't you think
They
you're
are
driving too
pretty easy to
fast?
lose in that cave, you just need to get some
Couldn't you slow
distance.
down a little?
No problem. We're doing fine.
Slow down a little.
Quit worrying. I know what I'm doing, okay?
Otherwise, there can be a handcuff symbol, and that means that the cops want to arrest you. In that case, it's much harder to lose them, since they can still want to arrest you even like halfway across the map, which is pretty crazy. And lastly, there can be a gun symbol, which means that the cops will want to shoot you. So they will be very aggressive, they will always recognize you, and it can turn into a wanted state really easily.
I need a coffee break.
Finish him off. Don't waste any more time on him.
Wanted state is
It was clear to me that I had to get out
a
of there
state that you
fast.
have for
I
like a
couldn't handle
certain
that
amount of
animal on my own.
time,
I said to
in
myself
which
that
the
now was
cops
probably the right
will
moment for Mr. Salieri
recognize
to
you
show
even
his
if you're not
gratitude.
doing anything illegal.
Salieri's bar was just down the street, and the sight of it was certainly a lot nicer than a baseball bat to my head.
We'll be seeing that later. This part over here is the first part where we actually don't get a car, and it's completely RNG whether the guy behind me hits me or not. He could decide to kill me, he could decide to not kill me, that's all random, but even if he did kill me, in a marathon run he would not lose too much time. Of course, I would have to set the estimate pretty high to account for all this, but still. I reckon even with like the worst RNG in like everything, sub 4 hours is free, definitely. 3 hours and 3/4, that's probably what the estimate might be. So now we get into the first mission with the gangsters. This is called Molotov Party. Now the car that I have right now is called the Bolt Ace, and it is the best car in the game, it is the fastest car in the game, and it is the most resistant car in the game. Unfortunately, we're going to blow it up. Now you'll notice that I'm going nowhere close to where the objective is. That's because I'm going to do something else first. There is a category completely dedicated to using this car, the Bolt Ace. It is the runner's favorite car, but we will only get to see it in this mission. So we need to park it right here. I'm looking out for cars, so we have to blow up the car. We got some pretty bad RNG here, in which the first car that I can actually hijack is here. Took a while. You saw that the screen flashed black there. That is because we just activated an Easter egg in the game. Normally, you are supposed to activate the Easter egg by shooting a particular point on that bridge. However, blowing up the car also works. And we'll get to see the Easter egg in just a bit. Oh wow. This car flips pretty easily. It has 2 gears. It can only go about 90 kilometers per hour faster most, and it has no handbrake. Lovely. Here's the Easter egg. This red car is called the Bolt Thrower, and it's not the fastest car in the game, but it's about almost the fastest car in story mode that we get to use. The only exception being the race car in a while. But this car we can actually use it almost whenever we want. The only real exception is the next mission. Unfortunately, it's a 2-seater, which means that we can't bring it in the next mission that requires a 4-seater. But I believe that's the only mission that requires a 4-seater anyway. So here we need to destroy some cars. Now, casually, we would have 2 Molotov cocktails to blow up 2 of the cars, and then the third one we could just beat up with a baseball bat. However, that's slow. We want to go fast, so we're going to move the cars a bit. Not take out the baseball bat, and throw a Molotov cocktail so that it hits 2 of the cars. Those 2 cars will explode, and they will damage the third car enough to explode as well. So while the cars are getting damaged, I can start heading to the next objective anyway. And the objective will come up soon. Nice physics. There's the objective. So this mission is really simple. Not too much excitement yet, but don't worry, we will get to the exciting part sooner or later. Here come the cops. As you can see, they want to arrest me. But that's not going to happen. Now, what sucks about this car is that it does not have. Whoa, nice sidewalk RNG. What sucks about this car is that it does not have a solid roof. So if I were to flip and if Tommy were to hit his head on the ground, he would die instantly. So we will go back to a checkpoint. And that happens a lot in runs. There are 2 ways to get into the bar. What you see me doing right now is the backdoor starts. I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. Front door starts is faster, but it's only valuable if you don't have cops following you. Here we need to talk to Ralph, this guy, and to Vincenzo, the gun guy.
Hey, Ralphie. Me and the boys have got a job to do, and I need some wheels.
And hey, Tommy, I got this here, baby. It has about 40 horsepower and goes almost 60 miles an hour.
Usually, in missions that require me to talk to both Ralph and Vincenzo, what I will do is talk to Ralph first, then talk to Vincenzo, and then go back to Ralph. That saves a few seconds. Because like Ralph has to walk to the car to show me how to unlock it. While he's walking to the car, I might as well talk to Vincenzo.
I wasn't planning on using it anyway. Thanks.
In any case, we have to talk to both, otherwise we can't exit. Now here is the car that we'll be using now.
Ain't nothing swanky, but it's a good enough drive. You get into it easy. You just take this little baby and stick it in here. Pry it a little, and when it clicks, you got it. It's a piece of cake.
Thanks, Ralphie.
We have really looked into ways to not have to take a 4-seater in this mission, but it's just... it doesn't seem to be possible.
Okay. First we'll go to a restaurant on Central Island.
Now this car is pretty slow, so we don't want to trigger cops, if possible. But even if we do safe starts, we have a gun. We can still shoot them. Well, safe starts, more like saving it or something. Saving the situation, we can say. Because right now there's not going to be a checkpoint until where we're going for the third destination. Here is the first destination. You just need to let Polly get down and do whatever he has to do in there. Grab some money or something. And this is the reason why we can't take a 2-seater. Now there will be another mission where the game thinks we need a 4-seater, but we can actually get away with a 2-seater. But in this mission, it's Polly that is triggering the mission to go on, and we can't sequence break it. So what happens is Polly must be in the car, but if we take a 2-seater, he refuses to come into the car. Polly is the guy in grey, and Sam is the guy with the other suit, the black suit or whatever. With the blue shirt. Here you see me using manual gearbox on the bottom right corner of the screen. The reason for that is the game is not too smart when it comes to changing gears. So when we go uphill, we generally like using manual gearbox so that we can actually choose what gear we have. Here we're going to see the same skip that we did earlier, the same shortcut again. And I think it's these are the only two places in the run where we take this shortcut. There is definitely time for donations during the run. I know that since it's a long run, you'll definitely want to have time for donations, but there is time for donations, don't worry. Anyway, the speedrun is definitely entertaining in its own right as a speedrun, because there are a lot of skips that we don't get to see right now, but we will get to see them, and some of them are really cool.
Now we're gonna take in some country air. Crank the clock
Being a
down.
2002 game, it's pretty broken. For example, we are able to actually go through just about any wall that we want to go through. However, in the run we only use it like once, because usually it's not useful. There's only one place where we can use it. There are some sequence breaks that we do, I think. Yes, there are some sequence breaks. There's a skip that doesn't make sense at all, but we still do it because it's... I find it consistent. Rather consistent at least. The other runners don't seem to think so. I'm talking about Sarah skip. That will be later in the run, about 1 hour in. Almost 1 hour in. It's... I think it's consistent in the sense that it works every time. Now, how long it takes it to work, that's a different story. Anyway, we're coming up on a really nice skip right now. Actually, it's the favorite skip of one of my friends. There's going to be like a whole shootout section right now, where we have to like go into the motel and shoot a whole bunch of guys and rescue a friend. But we're going to skip all of that by just coming over here. And shooting the final boss right there. Well, the final boss of the mission at least. Not the final boss of the game. Anyway, this is fair play, and this, I promise, is the last boring mission. Here we just have to drive around. We're supposed to be like sabotaging a race and stuff.
Hey, Ralphie.
It's a pretty long mission, but after that we have Sarah, which is amazing. We have Better Get Used to It, which is pretty cool. Have a nice skip in there. We have the Whore, which is a good shootout. The Priest as well. All of those over there are fun missions. Up to fair play, they're not.
You just have to take it to the auto service of my friend Luca Bertoni. It's in Newark under the Giuliani Bridge. He'll take a look at it and tune it a little, and then you just take it back.
This should be easy enough.
But you gotta get it done before 1:50.
This kind of cutscenes cannot be skipped. All cutscenes with like black bands on top and the bottom, the letterboxes, those can always be skipped.
They mustn't catch you.
But this kind of cutscenes where we are talking to a guy like that, those cannot be skipped. So here we have a small time save. I'm gonna turn on the car because I'm waiting for Ralph to come to the car anyway. So I'll turn that on so the engine is already on when I'm back to that.
I've never seen this lock before. I don't think I can get in.
Well, I got something new in. Ain't no big thing to swipe one. Watch. You just stick a piece of wire in here and twist it a little, and you get inside where you gotta join these two wires.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Thanks, Ralphie.
Thanks, Ralphie.
Sparing the gas, Tom.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna spare the gas. Anyway, we're going to the racing circuit and we'll find Bobby. We have to be very careful with sidewalks in this game, because sidewalks are a huge source of RNG. Especially with this car, what can happen is you can randomly bump on a sidewalk or something and your car can go flying or whatever. It kinda depends on your speed on some of them, but on others it's just completely random. I think we saw it in Running Man, where I actually had some sidewalk RNG with the taxi, which is actually unusual. Usually it's only with this car that we get that kind of sidewalk RNG. Oh. Definitely using secondary controls with the bolt roller so that we can keep maneuverability. Using the bolt roller with primary controls is a mess. You can't control it. It spins all around.
Evening. You must be Ralph's friend.
That's right.
Okay, we'll take your time.
But the game is gonna unlock my controls.
Go in and over to the garage.
Notice how there's no texture there. Pretty cool.
Okay, we're here, buddy. Come on, we haven't got a lot of
Oh
time.
no. Oh no. Again, turning on the engine for later.
Hey, is that it?
Yeah, buddy, be real careful. There can't even be a scratch on it. And avoid the cops like the devil, because this car will be real obvious.
That's right.
In about half an hour, the second guard will come. So you gotta be back by then, buddy. And be real careful, that car goes fast. Maybe it's the fastest car in the world, who knows? Sure,
Spoiler alert, it's not the fastest car in the
There in
world.
a half hour.
At least not the fastest car in the game. But the actual fastest car in the game does not appear in story mode. So this is actually the fastest car in story mode. However, we'll only be using the race car in this mission. It's not available elsewhere. I am not using camera glitch in this mission because the traffic density is actually pretty low. So camera glitch is not really needed. But it's definitely something you want to use when the traffic density is high, when there are a lot of cars. Well, you can clearly see here the difference between primary controls, what I'm using right now, and secondary controls. Okay, so this bridge is going up, so I'm going to go back up stats. And go to this side. We are almost at our destination. If this bridge here reminds you of something, it is purely coincidental. And there are no references to anything. Oof. This bridge should be down now. Yes, it is. You can see a timer on the top right corner of the screen. That's how much time we have for the mission. We are speedrunners. The timer doesn't matter. The timer gives you a lot of time. It's really not a big deal. Is there in quite a few other missions as well. It was there in Running Man, for example. Another cutscene.
So you pulled it off, buddy. And the car isn't even scratched.
Thanks, Bobby. It really was the fastest car in the world.
Sure is. We're lucky you managed it. I bet on the Don's car, too.
It seems everybody did.
I bet on it. So did almost everybody in my neighborhood.
I figure the driver's pretty important, too.
Sure. Well, I won't keep you. Good night.
Take care, Bobby. Thanks for the help.
Anyway, we're going to go back to Solier's bar. But that is not the end of Fairplay. Oh no, definitely not. The best part is yet to come. Because it's not enough to sabotage the race, you also have to win the race. That's the best part. I mean, what's the point of sabotaging the race if you're not gonna win the race? right. And best way to stop is to just crash into the pole. Cops here don't matter too much. Oh, sidewalk Angier there. Anyway, cops don't matter too much because you can still, this is one of the few missions that you can still trigger even if you have cops on you. And besides, the path to the racetrack is long enough that cops will probably forget about me by the time I got to the race. Oh, he said don't move, so I shouldn't move. I should just stop and just get arrested. Good thing about cops in this game rather than GTA though is that they only shoot at you if there's a gun on the top of the screen. Otherwise they don't shoot. To trigger the gun you have to like run over a cop or run over too many pedestrians or shoot yourself. And here we go with the race. Now this is why we play on 1.0 instead of any other patch. Because we're going to do a pretty nice skip for the race. I don't think it was intended, but then again they like built this whole shortcut path that is not supposed to work or for some reason. I don't know. I don't think it's intended because they patched it in the other versions. They like put an invisible wall. Anyway, we're gonna take this obviously intended shortcut. I don't know. In the game we'll say wrong way, and as soon as we get the checkpoint we can reset the car and this is one lap completed. Doing the lap this way takes about 55 seconds every time. The fastest you can get is like 52 or so, while actually doing the laps normally I think would be something like a minute and 3/4 or something like that, or a minute and a half. There are 5 laps in total, so if you liked seeing that skip for the first time, you were going to like seeing it for 4 other times. In casual play, this race is just tedious. And also if you die during the race, you get to do the whole race again, which is very fun. When I go in there, I try to first of all slow down so that I don't accidentally flip the car and die, and also try to hit the railing instead of the cement block. What happens is the railing actually doesn't give damage to your car for some reason, while the cement block does. And also the railing is less likely to flip your car. So we're coming up onto the last lap. And don't worry, fair play is still not over after that. But it's almost over at the point. And thanks for body blocking me. Jesus. There is a bug in this game where if two cars collide, it's pretty likely that they'll act like magnets and they'll like stick together, which is really annoying, really annoying. Very careful over here, especially since I had cars behind. Very slow lap because of that crash earlier. But that's the last lap and we are done with the race. So we're not done, but almost. We just have to go to Bertone, where we dropped off the race car earlier, and come back home, and we're done. And then we get onto the best skip of the game. I probably don't want cop cars. Cops on foot are fine, but cop cars right now, it's better if we... we still got a cop car, so we're just gonna go with it. So I can showcase how to trigger the mission even with cops. Now this is one of those that you cannot trigger with cops on your tail. However, notice how the image of the handcuffs can be either solid or transparent like that. If I get out of the car while the icon is transparent, most of the time I can actually trigger the mission regardless. Because we get the confused cop icon, which means that the cops don't really know exactly where we are. They wouldn't recognize us if they saw us, pretty much. Now here is a wanted state. This means that cops will recognize me even if I'm not committing a crime at the moment. Otherwise, if I didn't have the wanted state, what would happen is like I could go past cops without being detected as long as I'm not committing a crime, and as long as I'm not being followed too closely by other cops. Nice sidewalk. Again, best way to stop is to just crash into the pole.
I wasn't in the mood to chase after a car that day. Maybe I'd get one some other day.
Glad.
It's really nice
That's
to
a
meet
terrible
you.
glad, actually.
These clowns were really strange. I was really nervous.
No problem. All
Anyway,
about
here comes the best skip of the game. This is normally it will be a mission where we would be walking with Sarah, like this,
He's a nice
and then we will
man.
be
He's always a
beating
lot
up
of
some
yeah, I work for him sometimes.
gangsters,
Usually ain't
guys,
having fun.
not really
So what do you actually do?
gangsters, more like
I
hoodlums.
usually just chauffeur the Don around, even though he occasionally surprises me. Like when he wanted me to drive in the race.
Yeah,
rapists.
I saw that. You drove really
They
well.
want to like
I was
rape
just real
Sarah,
You're so modest. It had to be
but
more
instead we're gonna
smart
do something
than
else.
otherwise.
Well, I used to drive a taxi, and the only real racing I've ever done was the night before.
There you go. You see, you got talent.
You might be right. Anyway, it wasn't too pretty. I don't like being in the spotlight.
So here's the trigger, and we are just gonna go, and apparently punching in the air makes it somewhat more consistent, although I'm really not sure about that. That's what Lambox says, I believe. Punching in the air and looking at the ground.
No,
But
I've got
it
something
doesn't
else to
cost
do
anything,
today.
so I might as well do it. So we're supposed to be beating up the guys, and there's also fail triggers where if we are not within a certain distance of Sarah, we fail. However, we eluded one of those triggers, the proximity triggers, and we went to Sarah's home. This is her house, her apartment, and we're just gonna sit here for a bit, and eventually the next mission will trigger. Now it's random how much time it will take to trigger the mission, but I find that it consistently triggers it. Some runners don't have that luck, and there we go, it triggered. Some runners don't have the luck, and sometimes they just fail the skip. Not sure why. Also, we're not sure why this works, but it does. It was actually found rather recently, like late 2016, which for a 2002 game, that's pretty impressive. Still finding stuff in 2016.
Wow, I can't believe it. Is this really his?
Well, to tell you the truth, it ain't. But if you're smashing someone in the face with it, they certainly won't question you.
We'll need some heaters too. Never know.
My words exactly. I've got these Colt 1911s. Great automatics.
Thanks, Vinny.
So here in this mission, we are supposed to like go and beat up the same gang of guys that wanted to rape Sarah in the last mission. But we're actually not going to beat them up. We're supposed to, but we'll do a skip, yet another skip, where we only have to kill one of them. Supposedly it's like a whole bunch of guys, and you have a baseball bat. You have to like beat up some of them. Then there's a shootout, but it's long. We don't want to do that. We can just kill one of them and clip through a wall. Oh. I'd rather not get cops right here, so going safe.
Howdy, partners. How's tricks?
Hey there, you fat bastard. Need a little piece of information.
What's going on?
A gang of jokers have set themselves up in our territory. They're giving people a bad
That is an interesting position.
Luigi's daughter. If it wasn't for Tom here,
Very interesting.
we need to know where they meet, so we can deliver them a message from Don Salieri.
Came to the right place, Paulie. I know what's going on. A few people have already had problems with that.
It looks like he's threatening me. I mean, anyway, we are going to be looking for a 4-seater.
It's a little ways from here.
And that's not that car because we can't hijack that car.
Send them my regards, Paulie.
Thanks,
Hopefully we get some decent RNG.
gotta go.
Sure. Take it easy, boy.
Can't tell if that's a 2-seater or not. Oh, but that's one in behind. That's good. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna take a 4-seater.
My car! He's stealing my car!
It's a woman, so it's good. Women never fight back. Men, if you hijack a car with a man inside, sometimes they can try to punch you, sometimes they can try to beat you up with a baseball bat, sometimes they can shoot you with a pistol. But when it's a woman, it's good because she's not going to do that, any of that. And it's actually bad that I just got a cop to aggro. We really don't want cops right now, which is why I have the limiter. I don't actually need it, but it's very safe stats. Okay, so the cop is not aggroed anymore, which is good, which means we can just trigger the mission. So we need to place this car accurately in slash
I think
position
this is the place.
and get in the back
Remember, Tom,
and get out of the back. And we are through the wall. This is the boss of this mission. We're gonna kill the driver so that he can't drive the car. These guys are not loaded. This guy will load in a minute. In a minute. And the other guys are all not loaded.
Hey, pal. Don Salieri sends his regards. Go ahead.
Now you see there are two guys over there. The guy in the back needs to get here so that we can trigger the next part. So we just have to wait and hopefully Polly won't die in the meantime. Which is actually getting beat up pretty badly. But it seems we'll be good to go. There's the trigger and we just need to walk to the car. It's supposed to be a chase sequence, but because we killed the driver, then, well, there is no chase if there's no driver in the other car. So here we spawn in this car, but we don't want this car, we want the faster car. So we're just gonna go and grab it. Now the whore and the priest are two missions that are like back to back. Pretty fast missions, not too long. We just need to go to a place, do something, and get out. In theory, we're supposed to go and blow up a hotel and kill the manager. We will be doing a skip that's not necessarily a glitch, more like AI manipulation. And I'm not taking my chances with the bridge right now, so I'm just gonna go the long way. Because the drawbridge could be up or down, and if it's down I have to come back, so I'll just take the long way without the drawbridge RNG. I'm not sure how a cop on foot saw me there. He must have been down on under the bridge. Anyway, probably don't want cops here, so I'm just gonna take the safe. Oh yeah, this game has a map feature. Oh, yeah, just turn into me. This game has a map feature that you can actually like look at the map while playing. More games need that. A lot of games you just stop completely for the map. I guess I haven't talked about the sequel to this game yet. This is Mafia. There exists Mafia 2, which is also a speed game that not many people are playing right now though. The time is rather similar, it's like 10 minutes off or something. But I much prefer Mafia 1 to Mafia 2. There's also a Mafia 3, but we don't talk about Mafia 3. We call it Grandfather 3 because it's not a Mafia game, it's a Godfather game, pretty much. Anyway, we have to interact with the door. Then we can kill this guy. That was the fast shooting trick, by the way. I haven't talked about that yet. How to fast shoot? You just crouch, shoot, and go back and jump. So that you can skip the shooting and the reloading animation, and you can shoot really fast. Anyway, that was the AI manipulation. We need to get into the room. The room is locked. We also need to kill the guy in white. So we're just gonna shoot a gun at the guy downstairs so that our target actually starts coming our way, and I'm in a bad spot there. Shit. They're body blocking me. That is not nice. Wow. Ooh, I'm sorry if I swore there. That was really intense. I could really have died there because of the body blocking. Anyway, we are escaping on the rooftops after blowing up the hotel. Cops are after us. There's something weird with the jumping animations in this game. If you jump, you can actually fall farther away before taking full damage. If you don't jump, you take full damage on a short jump like that, on a short fall. You saw the fast reload again. And here we jump again so that we can do that whole jump without taking damage. If we did not jump, we would have taken full damage. Oops, wrong gun. There we go. Now here we can heal up. And we have a shootout coming up. So the guy is not coming at me, which means I need to kill him. Nice miss. This rifle that I have, the reason why I picked it up is because it always kills on headshots. Where's the gun? There we go. There's the fast shooting again. We'll be seeing that a lot. Oh my god, okay. Never mind. The guy again is shooting at me from afar. This is the only gun, apart from the sniper rifle, which will only be seen in one mission, that kills an headshot at any range. Oops, okay. Here we go. And now we need to escape the cops. We automatically get a wanted state here, and rarely there's also something that we call super cop. Just a cop coming straight towards us, like right in front of us. That has happened before, and it is not fun to have the super cop. But you just need to reload the checkpoint. This car has terrible steering. Terrible steering, as you can see. If you are going over 60 kilometers per hour and you honk your horn, cars will actually move out of your way, which is pretty handy. It looks like cops are gonna give me a bit of trouble here. A lot of cop cars. It looks like two of them got stuck on each other, which is nice. This is a lot of cop cars. It's usually not this many, but it doesn't look like they're too much trouble right now. Now you're gonna see me do backdoor stars now. What happens is I can't enter Salieri's bar if the cops are like right on me like this. So I can't go from the front door because the cops will be all over me. But if I go from the back door I can actually block the path so that I can break line of sight and be able to enter the bar. So the car there is blocking, which means I should be able to get in. Yep. Here I'm walking blind during this small cutscene. Let's see if we... Yeah, we got about to the correct position.
So what have you got for me today, Ralphie?
Hey, Tom, I have here a new machine for you. It has 65 horsepower, and if you put your foot down, it'll go over 75 miles per hour.
65 horsepower. 75 miles per hour. Now that's a fast car. Again, turning the engine on beforehand, so that it's ready on when I'm back over there. This mission is also shootouts. Doesn't really have skips, it only has like fast starts where we know where the enemies are, so we can just kill them fast.
See? It's real easy. You can take this car or something older.
But definitely what amazes me is that up to this point I've only lost time in like the first two real missions. They haven't really lost almost any time in the rest of the missions. Anyway, even with some bad RNG, the world record for this game is I think 3 hours and 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that, I don't know. I don't remember. It is a very lucky run by Bagger, who had been grinding for a pretty long time before he actually got that. many times he was on world record pace, and the RNG just decided to kill the world record pace. But then he finally got the record with a cop car. At fast speeds, this car becomes really hard to maneuver, as you can see. Which is why secondary controls really come in handy. Here comes the shootout. So as you can see, there's a house over there, and there is another house over there behind the barn. Right now it doesn't matter, but coming back we'll be avoiding these two houses because enemies will be coming out of there. But if we don't trigger them to come out, they don't come out, and we don't have to kill them. We save bullets, we save hit points. It's a win-win. Okay, he's dead. He's dead, Jim. Okay, so we cleared this place. If I hadn't done that now, I would need to come back and do it later, so might as well do it now. Again, I'm steering clear of those houses so that we don't trigger more enemies to spawn. Nice ragdoll.
They're all dead! What? The truck crew, out there in the back, they wasted them.
What? What about Sam? Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him, but the barn was locked. He might be in there.
We ain't leaving without him.
Let's go back and get him.
Okay, we'll go back, but we gotta find a crowbar or something so we can break open that barn door.
Okay, let's go. You boys stay here for now and watch the trucks. Waste anyone who gets within 100 yards. Besides us, of course.
Anyway, this is the first chance that we get to use the pump-action shotgun. This weapon is very powerful. It will be an insta-kill at close range, and it can blow up cars really easily. However, an even more powerful gun is the Thompson machine gun, whatever. You might think that being a machine gun, the Thompson is hard to aim, but it's actually really easy to aim and very powerful. So it's even better than the shotgun. Steering clear of the door again. Yeah, we'll keep each other covered, don't worry. I have a bed sheet right here for you. I'll cover you. Let's go! Ooh. Wow, I'm getting shot. the fast shooting in action right there. I'm gonna take the health back. You can reload while taking the health back, which is pretty cool. Not too useful.
Jesus, what have they done to you? Still in one piece?
Although pretty handy, I guess. I don't know.
Guess.
And you walk?
Probably not too good.
Okay, hang on. I'll get the truck. Okay, you to the doctor. You'll make it. Sam! Tom, wait here with him. I'll be back in a second.
It'll be okay, Sam. Gotten through worse.
Sure. We have?
We have not, but still. And I will demonstrate how this shotgun can easily blow up a car. Like that. I'm gonna take the health pack over here. Also, the car that I blew up, it's actually a ghost car. If I go in front of it, it should honk the horn. Maybe it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Usually it does. And these are the enemies that we didn't want to spawn, but we spawned them. Now here, this part is some pretty heavy RNG. We need to make sure that these cars don't get in front of us. Here is how you aim the Thompson. You just account for the recoil, pretty much. And if you do one shot at a time, it's even easier. So what we can do is we can shoot the driver so that the car crashes, or we can shoot the guy shooting, or we can blow up the car with the Thompson. But we need to make sure that the car does not get in front of us, and sometimes they will just do that no matter what we do. To blow up the car, we just need to shoot the front enough. Easy peasy. Okay, so that was pretty good. Now here, for some reason, we don't get back the car that we came in with, which is the bottle. Well, we get this car over here, which it sucks. I'm not sure why we wouldn't get the car that we came in with. But that's just what it is. Now we're going back to the bar, and again there will be a mission completed. And on to Omerta, which is a rather long mission. Yep. Did you go to shopping?
Yeah. Bag.
Are you going to sleep soon?
Huh?
Are you going to sleep soon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Around 5 minutes. Why?
Now I'm recording a speed run,
Oh, okay.
but it's gonna be like 2 hours. It's pretty long. But I do want to get this done because I'm going to submit it in a few days.
off those cops. What do you got for me today, Ralphie? Hello, Vince. I guess you know why I'm here.
Right. What can you do? Frank knew what would happen.
What do you got for me?
A Colt 1911 should be enough, but here's a sawed-off as well. In Sicily, they call it a lupata. When they find someone shot by one of these babies, everyone knows the deal. Unfortunately, this is the perfect situation to use it. He's got a short range, but it covers a lot of real estate. You can't miss.
I never thought that I'd meet with Sicilian tradition like this.
I guess there won't be a lot of explaining from now on. Too bad. There are some good skips.
They changed the locks a bit, but it ain't no problem in the business.
For example, in visiting rich people, the next mission, we can get the car into the villa, which is pretty cool.
Greetings from Mr. Salieri, Beth. We need to know where the cops have got Frank.
Drive like a maniac!
I'll see you. Well, I guess I can explain stuff. First of all, there was my roommate at university. He's a nice guy, I like him. Anyway, here we need to talk to this guy, but this guy, unlike the other guy, we have to wait for a certain line in order before going away.
How are you, Tony? Mr. Salieri needs to know where the cops are holding Consigliere Frank. Big Diff suggested you might know something.
Hey there, Tom.
There we go. Otherwise he just doesn't start talking. Now here coming up is another skip. Definitely unintended. So what we're doing is the Don's concierge betrayed him and sold him to the police, and now the Don wants the concierge dead, but we need to see where he is, we need to find him. So we need to ask around, and these two guys don't know. However, there's a third guy whom will know, and in order to get him to talk, we need to beat him up a bit. So there will be like a long conversation, and then we would punch him and stuff, and he would tell us where to find the concierge. That is unnecessary. We can just take out the gun and shoot him once. Now this is one of those missions where you can actually reload even with the cops. So you just shoot him once and now he's talking. And Tommy will talk in the car by himself. I'm all ears. Oh, sidewalk NG. That's a good example of sidewalk NG. Thank God he didn't flip the car and kill me. But my car is damaged now. You can see the white smoke, so it's gonna be lower than it's supposed to be, which really sucks. I also lost some health there, which also sucks. This guy is actually pretty strong, unlike the Voltace. This doesn't get damaged too easily, but it did get damaged now. Now there is something here that I think I'll go for it. At least showcase it, if I can get it. It's called Lost Heaven Space Program, and it loses a lot of time, but I'll see if I can get it to showcase it. Nope, it didn't happen. Never mind.
They must be worried about Frank.
I think it's because the car is too slow. If you manage to get to this cabin over there, the phone booth, right before the cutscene triggers, your car will actually gain a lot of speed during the cutscene, and you will just fly off into the air and die. Most of the time die. Sometimes not necessarily die, but fail the mission after a while. Here we are supposed to be following a car, but we already know where they're going, so we can just go there. Oh, by the way, it seems like our car was just repaired by the cutscene, which was nice. So now it's actually going full speed again. Don't ask me how that works. Anyway, yeah, the car that we're supposed to be following is... God. Never mind. Did I already get into talk? I did not. That was a train wreck. There we go. That's better. So, looks like we're doing that again. Aiming from the car is really inaccurate. Even if your crosshair is right on top of him, you're still gonna miss, probably. If you instead you're on foot, then aiming is very accurate actually. Even with the Tommy gun, your shots will like always be at the exactly on the crosshair, which is why it's so easy to shoot with the Tommy gun. It's so accurate and it's so powerful. Let's see if I can get Lost Heaven Space Program to happen. I really wanted to showcase it, even though it's a huge time loss. It did not
Jesus,
happen.
that was close.
Never
Must be
mind.
worried about Frank if they're driving him around in an armor-plated car. Well, I'll follow them
Anyway,
and see where they're headed.
again, the car that we're supposed to follow is first of all going a different way than we are, a slower way, and also we will arrive there much earlier than the car. But then, according to the mission, we still got there after them. Of course. They are going to the airport, and that's where we're headed now. And here we go. Of course they're there before us, obviously. We have the Colt ready, which means we can shoot. Let's see if I can get him. Nope. He was too quick. I could kill one of those guys in there if I was fast enough. Get out of my way, please. There we go. So we need to kill these guys so that Frank leaves.
Don't do it! No, for the love of God, don't do it!
I am actually going to use the medkit. Save stats. Now, let's see. We do want some ammo on this gun, and we can get some from these guys. We don't want to be too late here because we're waiting for that truck. So we can just hijack the truck and go. It looks like one of the tires is busted, but that's fine. We don't need to use this truck too much anyway. So we killed one guy with roadkill, and then there's some more guys that we need to kill. There we go. So now there's two more guys in here. See how easy it is to aim with this. Oops, I didn't mean to drop that. We kill the civilian because otherwise he calls the police and we get a whole bunch of cops in here, and that's not healthy. They all have shotguns.
Be right back. You're okay, Frank.
So again, no skips here, but definitely fast starts, like taking the truck and then taking one of these cars over here. I'm gonna open it for later. Some runners actually take the truck afterwards. I don't know exactly which is faster, but it probably won't matter. Fun fact, this woman right here is the only woman that can attack you in the game. If you kill her husband, then she will start punching you. That's the only woman in the game who does that. That sniper there is just missing with every shot. I don't think I've ever been hit by the sniper still. I'm sure it can happen. So here we're just betraying the boss now, betraying the Don, and not killing the concierge, but rather giving him plane tickets for Europe. This is the second betrayal. There was actually a betrayal in the hall where we didn't kill a woman that we were supposed to kill. That was in a cutscene, so we didn't get to see it. There are some more guys that are shooting at me, but that's not a problem at all. We're gonna be losing a lot of time in this mission, especially because of that death earlier. That cost a long time, but whatever. We got some pretty bad RNG this one, and also pretty bad execution. I'll be completely honest, that was not just RNG. So here, ideally, I wouldn't really want cops, but I think those are far enough away that I can lose them before reaching the objective. Because if I have cops, I can't trigger the objective. Even cops on foot, which sucks.
Frank didn't lie. The
Okay.
briefcase with the account books was in the safe box.
Look at the
No
wanted
problem
state
getting
right there. Nice. Anyway. If you can see, I dropped my gun because, you know, if the cops see me with a gun, they're gonna argue. So, I really want to be able to trigger the mission. Some more camera glitch. Umeta is a mission that has a really high traffic density. So definitely camera glitch in here. And lots of time lost. Again, stopping on the pole is the best way to stop. Now this mission is pretty annoying, but it has a nice skip, a very nice skip. In fact, I need to go to Vincenzo and get a gun and stuff. But there will be a very nice skip in here.
Tonight I'm doing a little burglary, so I need something for a quiet little job.
Tommy, a good old bat will do the trick. When you hit someone over the head from behind, they should be out cold for a while. To be on the safe side, take this here Colt 1911 too. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Thanks, Vincenzo.
But yeah, losing 3 minutes like that is how a normal Mafia run works. If you look at any runner, unless they're getting a PP, that's how this game works. You'll be like looking at, you'll be like joining a stream where someone is running Mafia with like a no reset run or something, and you see maybe some green splits, maybe some red splits, and then the one mission where it's like a huge time loss, and you're like, hey, what happened there? And usually it's cops, or I crashed and died, like I did, or stuff like that. That is very normal. And yeah, in a run that's like longer than 3 hours, you really can't expect to just never do no reset runs and just reset at the first time loss, because it's just not realistic that you will ever complete a run like that. You don't even get practice of the last few levels that way. Anyway, we're gonna pick up the best character in the game now. His name is Salvatore, and he has the second best pathfinding in the game, after Poli. That is really top-notch pathfinding. Oh, hey, nice stop.
Evening, Chief. Let's get moving.
Great. So where are we going?
Evening, Chief. Let's go. Oh, what? Hey.
So, you can open any safe in the country, right?
Almost everyone, Chief.
And how did you learn that trick?
My grandpa was in the business.
It's
It's
inherited.
united.
The safes keep getting better, so a fella has to keep up with the times. Some of the safes around these days are pretty tricky.
By the way, I'm playing on the English version of the game right now. There are 6 different dubs. English, Italian, French, German, Czech and Russian, as far as I know. Apart from French, they're all kind of even. Not too many difference in the time, you know, with the dialogues and stuff. But the French version is really on steroids. It's like more than a minute, almost 2 minutes, saved only because of dialogues being shorter in the French version. They talk so fast. It's kind of like games where it's the Japanese version, except there is no Japanese version in this one. No Japanese dub, at least.
Can you open it, Salvatore?
Let's see if we can pathfind to it first. And it's going the wrong way. Oh, you can do it! You can do it! Yes! You can do it! He did it. Good job. So, this is a guy's villa.
There you go, Chief.
We're supposed to go steal something in there. There's a huge skip here. Well, huge. Very nice skip here. We can just take the car in. This is not intended, but like the first few frames when you spawn in, you have the car, and then the car goes away.
Be quiet and do exactly what I tell you.
What? So if we spam the action button during the loading screen, then we're actually able to take the car with us, and nobody notices a sports car right in the middle of this place.
Can you open it, Salvatore?
I'll try, Chief.
Again, turning on the engine. There is a recurring theme here. Here you go, Chief. He is supposed to be a safe cracker, and so we are bringing him along to open the safe over here. Hopefully he followed me. Yeah, he did. Okay. Sometimes he just fails to follow you, and you have to wait a few seconds there. Hopefully he can follow me on the way back, though. Because if he doesn't, there can be trouble. Come on, quickly. There. Oh god. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, if he's not fast enough, those guys are gonna blow up my car. Some runners, most runners, actually use a different start where they actually shoot the two guys in the back so that the car will not be blown up. But I find that, like, if he is fast enough to follow, they don't blow up my car regardless. And they shouldn't blow up my car this time, hopefully. Oh god, I'm just gonna do the different start. I'm just gonna kill the guys in the back. I didn't actually kill him, but I'm kind of on a timer because a guy's about to come out over here. Now we cannot run over the guy in the white suit over there. If we do, it's mission failed. Because apparently we need him alive or something, whatever. Don't care. Anyway, you see how, did you see how in the transition here, on the first few frames as well, we were in a car and then we got teleported out. Spamming the action button there actually doesn't leave the car there for some reason. I think it's because the car is floating, so we can't get out of the car and so we can't pull the trigger. Anyway, that was this mission. Now we're just gonna bring Salvatore home and go home ourselves, and that's the end of this mission. The AI really likes driving on that downhill part. A lot of the time, even if I don't push them, they still go off-road. Because they can't brake properly, apparently, I don't know. Anyway, we probably don't want cop cars around here. And cop some foot closer to the trigger. Trigger, please.
Here's where I live.
There we go.
Thanks a lot. I hope it'll be a little cooler next time. Today I almost crapped in my pants.
I hope so too. Get some shut-eye.
Get some shut-eye. Let's go. The sidewalk. Anyway, apart from those two deaths, not terrible at all. This mission is a big shootout. Fun fact, we can actually shoot this guy. We can't... we're not allowed to shoot those guys, but if we do it right before the trigger, then we can. There we go. Again, fast reload, crouching and going backwards and jumping skips the animation of reloading. I'm gonna grab some grenades here. All of these, this doesn't have really skips, but just fast starts. Let's see if I threw that correctly. Yeah, that was correct. This one might not be. Get away from that bully. Get away from that bully. Yep, told you. I told him. Okay, so that's all the enemies. I need them to follow me.
How should I know?
Okay. Well, we can't hang around here waiting for more of them to show up. Tom, you drive. I'll follow behind in one of the other cars.
Okay, so now we have a bit of a chase section where we need to get to a place, and there are gonna be a couple of cars chasing us. This shootout went pretty much perfectly, even though I'm a bit low on health now. And it is obligatory to think here, otherwise the run is invalid. I'm gonna do my best. You catch me beating up your chops? I ought to turn you over to the cops. Oops. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You tell everybody I'm busted. You talk so much you got me disgusted. But you run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You started telling me you're my pal, and end up telling me how to handle my girl. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your juicy mouth and I run my business, brother. Just run your juicy mouth and I run my business, brother. If I followed your advice on how to make dough, I'd been in the jailhouse long ago. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. That's about all the lyrics I know. But yeah, the one and only singing section. There is one of those in Mafia 2 as well, where supposedly if you don't sing, your run is invalid. In reality, of course, it's not. But yes, your run is definitely invalid then. I'm gonna not trigger the cops if I can help it, since they can really screw me up right now. And here is the destination. Now you haven't been seeing the cars that are chasing me, but they might catch up now. Let's see if they do. I am low on health, so I don't want to get killed right now. If Sam gets here before the car... Oh, never mind. He's not going to. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, this next mission is another shootout. Blood, nice. This next mission is another shootout. It's actually a pretty hard shootout, even with like speedrun stats. Because there are just so many enemies and...
Tommy, I'm really looking forward to this. Pepe is a native Sicilian, and above all, a fantastic chef.
We'll have to do this.
Whenever I feel like a specialty from back home, I go to him. Wait till you try his cheeses. Forget about it.
Luigi is a great cook, but Pepe is a real master, a maestro. We love this part, this dialogue. Anyway, as I was saying, there are just way too many enemies. They are armed really well, and it's in like very tight space.
Ouch! You trying to kill me?
So it's a pretty tough shootout. But hopefully it will go smooth enough. What's the guy doing there?
You know how to drive. Oh,
almost triggered the cop car there. Anyway, I'm not sure why that guy was like stopping in the middle of the road or something. Whatever. Don't care too much. Here we don't want to trigger the cops, because then we can't trigger the mission. And getting rid of the cops here is really hard. Oh wow. Ooh, he hurt. Oh wow, nice misses. Don't try it with me, he says. Right. What happens if I try it? That should be all. Yeah. Okay, that went really smooth. Even though I lost a lot of health in the start. Anyway, we probably have enough ammo, we can go. So now we're going to the house of a guy who betrayed the Don. Of course, you can't just betray the Don and expect to, like, not feel the consequences. So we're gonna kill this guy. Don't take into consideration the fact that I also Tommy also betrayed the Don. And don't worry, he's gonna feel the consequences. Nice little shortcut over here. It's almost a road. That'll be a nice quote. It's almost a road. WLP Beta 2017. Anyway, the camera glitch is it can also despawn cars if they're far enough away, but that is very inconsistent. It's actually on the console version of the game, camera glitch is 100% consistent, and it works from relieve more ranges, so you can despawn cars that are pretty close to you. You can also despawn pedestrians on console, which is why the console version of course is better, without taking into consideration the fact that a lot of skips don't work on console. And the run is like 3/4 of an hour longer. But at least the camera glitch is very consistent. Here's the place. Now here there's a glitch that we can do where we can actually spawn out of bounds, but that's not useful for the run. What happens is there is a small delay between when we push the action button and when we actually finish the other mission. Now here we're gonna do a skip where we, instead of letting him run away, we're just gonna kill him there. Otherwise we would have to chase him and he would be shooting at us. This way it's completely safe and it's completely consistent.
Shut up, lady, or you're next.
And we don't take any damage pretty much. This mission also has a very nice skip. You will love this. You will love the skip in this mission.
Well, here we go again, Ralphie. Today I need something for one use, because we don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, this little number. They're pretty popular these days. Also, they're pretty solid. Look how easy they are to nab.
Yeah, great, Ralphie. That should do the trick.
We have to wait until sitting down, otherwise we can't trigger the next part. There we go. There was a nice cloud over there actually. I didn't even see that. Oh look. Oh yeah, I remember. It might be that mission actually had several deaths in that shootout. I think like at least a couple. So it was pretty bad. We don't want to trigger the cops here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You should be safe enough to do so here, but further down it's... YOLO. It should be safe enough actually, because I can get over here and then lose them.
First thing, I gotta lose these cops.
YOLO. Okay, we're fine with the cops now. Now, this game is not Hitman, but we still get these guys. And with these guys there's a sailor. Well, Tommy is dressed in a suit, and he gets to this guy, so it must be Hitman. This guy is gonna frisk us, but we don't have any guns, so we're fine.
Okay, pal. Enjoy yourself.
So we're supposed to kill a politician on this ship, so how we're going to do is this. Punch this waiter so that everyone gets triggered, and everyone starts shooting at stuff. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go. It's not. Now these guys are gonna kill me. So I'm gonna punch this guy through the door, which makes a lot of sense. And apparently these guys have perfect aim. I'm not sure that I can do this without dying right now. Nope, I cannot. Oops. I'm gonna go a different way this time. But punching the guy through the door is the start. Okay. Apparently this guy wants us. We still get to punch him through the door. Get away from me! Get out of the way! Oh god! Get out! My god! This guy really wants to die. Anyway, that was not clean. Absolutely. Wow. Now here comes You Lucky Bastard, which is pretty close to Running Man as far as being bad. It's a very long mission, but it has a lot of checkpoints.
Vincenzo, I need a Tommy gun and something for Tom here.
Okay.
So here we're supposed to kill the brother of the enemy Don.
Here it is, boys. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
And apparently we fail almost every hit. We like do the first hit and we fail, and then we do other hits and we fail. But in the end, a spoiler alert, we succeed. I have to wait for Polly here, because logic.
Hey, Ralphie, we need a car.
Hey, I have a new terror plan here. It's decent and a real big, sturdy car. You'll like it, Paulie. It has a new type of lock, but if a person is clever, it ain't no problem to open it. Just like this. Nice and easy. Push in and click.
Of course we're not gonna take that car.
Let's go, Tom, let's go.
We can just take this one. Yeah, let's go, Polly, let's go. So first thing, we're going to Central Island, and we're going to a restaurant where the target often eats, but unfortunately the target is not there today. You gotta pay attention not to break this phone booth. That will not be healthy. That will fail the mission because we need it.
Here we are. Okay, I'll stand out front. You go from that booth. Say you want to talk to Sergio. As soon as I kill him, get in the car away from me.
Hello,
it
cops.
wasn't Sergio. Sergio wasn't there today. Ah, hell. Now we're in shit. Going back to Salieri.
Oh, hey. Nice sidewalk, RJ. Anyway, with this car, chases are pretty easy. You can lose your tail pretty fast, just like that. anyway, should be fine to just do front door starts. So now here's the second try. We are going to go and blow him up with his car, except he's not going to be taking his car. What a surprise. The music is pretty good. It's there's one song for every neighborhood, and then there are some special songs for some certain occasions. Probably don't want to trigger cops right now. Yeah. We're gonna take a shortcut. And go straight to our objective.
There it is. Let's have a look.
Now here's a small waiting section. We need to place a bomb under this car, but we can't have this guy see it. Otherwise he starts shooting and then we fail the mission. Because we alerted everyone. So we just have to wait until he's inside that door over there. Which apparently we can see through. Some walls in this game are just non-existent. For some reason. Just oversights, I guess. And now that we've planted the bomb, we just need to get away from the car. And that will trigger the next part. So the hit failed, so now we're gonna do another hit. We're gonna go with Polly to a place where he's certain to be. And this time he is there. Weirdly enough. I'm gonna take the gamble here and go down to the bridge. Hopefully it's not up. It might be up. If it's up, I'll just come back and go the other way. Because it's much shorter if we actually take this bridge. But then again, it's a gamble. The bridge is up, so I can't take it. I can already see the lights flashing, so the bridge is definitely up. So we just need to go the other way, which sucks. Also, we got a wanted level, which also sucks. And hopefully we can actually lose it. Although I'm not convinced that we're not gonna lose it. Absolutely. There's actually a glitch with the wanted level in this in this part rather, where if we have wanted level and we trigger the mission, then the cops kinda glitch a bit. It's like you get cops chasing you without a wanted level, and then as soon as you get more cops, you get a wanted level back or something. It's just weird. Anyway, we need to... we need to not have the cops on our tail right now, and do this.
Here we are.
And this. Trigger, please. It's supposed to trigger. There we go. So now we don't have a wanted level anymore, notice. But that cop is still chasing us. And if we get more cops, we should get the wanted level back or something. It's a glitch that's not really useful. Anyway, since the bridge was up earlier, now it's not up. So we can just go this way. It looks like we've already lost the tail. Again, with this car it's really easy. And after this it should be the last part of the mission. There will be a chase and then a shootout. Which the starts for, of course. So here's the chase. We get a bad car, sadly. And we're chasing Serge over there. Now here we want to use as much camera glitch as we can, because Serge's driver is really the worst, like the worst AI driving ever. He just runs into everything. So if we avoid car spawns with camera glitch, we can save a lot of time. By letting him actually not get stuck in places. Oh god, that's bad. That is very bad. I might lose the mission now. Yeah. Well, let's try that again. That was my bad. It's also random, of course, because of random traffic spawning. It's random how much Sergio's car will actually get blocked. Like right now is very blocked. And sometimes he can just get stuck completely. And then we just need to reload afterwards. If I can get close to him, then I can just use camera glitch all throughout. suppose I'll be able to like see where he's going and then get my car in that direction. Otherwise I have to like look. And so let go of the camera glitch. As you can see, the road is completely clear now. So he doesn't like run into stuff. Surprise, he's gonna go through a pole. He always does that. Ooh. Okay. Should be fine from here on out. And now here comes the shootout part. For some reason there is always a Windows error sound there. No idea why. It didn't used to happen on like Windows 95 and stuff, but like with Windows 10 it always happens. No idea why. Here we're supposed to shoot everyone, but why shoot everyone if we can just go with a car? Right? Makes sense. Then we want to blow up the stuff so that we can kill some enemies. That guy just said, Jesus Christ, a murderer. I mean, they're all murderers. They want to murder me. This explosive thing is just gonna burst into his anger so that we can get through. Now here there are some safer starts, but I think I'll try to go for the roadkill. Let's see if I can get it. We're really not supposed to have a car in here. Oh, okay. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna get out. Oh, that's not good. That's no bueno. Let's see if we can do safe starts. Safe starts is just grab me this gun over here and then actually going in there and shooting him. I think he's behind that thing. Oh hey, there he is. Hopefully the guys don't blow up my car now, that's totally possible. This guy is not supposed to be here. But whatever. fortunately, as soon as I get out of the port, the car will be completely repaired. Hopefully I can get out of the port alive. And we made it. So now that's Lucky Bastard. That's mission complete. And next up, we're actually almost out of missions here, but there's still like a probably more than an hour, or close to an hour left in the run, because these last missions are really long. First of all, we have Creme de la Creme, which is where we kill the rival Don. And then we have Election Campaign, Just for Relaxation, Moonlighting, and Death and that's it. Like 5 missions. Try not to trigger the cops right now. So now, you guessed it, there's also a escape in this mission. Pretty big actually. So first of all, we're gonna talk to Vincenzo, who will give us guns and stuff.
Vincenzo, today we need some real heavy artillery. We're gonna rub out Morello.
Well, I think 600 shots per minute from an old Tommy gun should do the trick. At the same time, we could stick to the ancient ways and use a more traditional Sicilian weapon for a job of this size.
Now here we need a 4-seater. So I'm gonna grab this slow car, but we really don't want to use the slow car if we can use a fast car, right? So let's use the slow car. I changed my mind. I think I want to go ahead and grab the fast car. Yeah, you guessed it. We're gonna ditch the slow car with the Simon Polly inside, and we're gonna grab the fast car. Now this does not work in ordinary routine, because Polly actually needs to be there to trigger stuff. But in Creme de la Creme we can actually do it, because we actually don't need Polly and Sam to trigger anything. We just need ourselves. So I have a pistol in my hand right now. I will take it out in a bit. So here is the rival Don. He went to the theater and stuff now. I take out my gun to trigger him to actually start moving quickly. Otherwise he wouldn't. Oh, hey cops. Nice job. To protect and serve everyone. Yep. So I'm also gonna use some camera trick here. I'm most likely gonna get in front of him. But still, I don't want it to crash into other cars too much, because that will slow him down. I need to be in a certain proximity of his car. If I go too much in front of him, I fail. We are not supposed to be able to get in front of him, but you know, we have a car that we are not really supposed to have, so we can get in front of him. Of course, if we crash into other cars, then getting in front of him was a bit useless, but in any case, as soon as we trigger this next part, we are not gonna be in front of him anymore. And here I wanna take it really well. We wanna take it really well, not sliding, so that I can go at full speed. and maybe Polly will actually be able to, you know, kill the guy. But this is a very RNG heavy part, and apparently he's not even shooting out of the car. If Polly could kill him, please. Oh, Polly died, of course. Oh wow, that is not no bueno at all. I don't have enough speed to reach him, at least to reach him reliably. So I'm gonna do like a couple of other tries and then I'll go casual stats. Cause like speedrunning stats for this require a setup that I don't have right now. Theoretically, Polly should be able to like kill him, but practically, practically I'm gonna do casual stats. So let's see which way he's gonna go. If he's gonna go to the airport or the other way. He's gonna go to the airport, okay. Actually, he's gonna stop for some reason. Ah, God. Polly, please. Okay, actually we did the drive-by kill. Okay, so we don't have to do casual stats. That is good. It took way too many tries, but still made it. Of course, Sam is just running in the middle of the street. To do that part correctly, I'm supposed to have way more speed coming in. But I just didn't have enough. It's probably the one point that I need the most practice on at this point. So now that's creme de la creme done, and we're off to election campaign. You see me slow down for those sidewalks because those are pretty consistently sidewalk RNG spots. Like you pretty consistently mess up your car there. On to election campaign now. So here again I'm gonna trigger Ralph. I dropped the gun that I have, because that is a really bad gun and I don't want to have it in the way.
Hey, you got some heavy-duty gear for me, Vincenzo?
You need to pick this guy off at a distance, right? So I dug out the best weapon for you. The military trains by mounting a sight on this standard rifle, similar to a hunting rifle. I got hold of a Mosin Nagant rifle. It's produced here, but the Russians upgraded it to a marksman's rifle. It's a good, precise weapon.
So this is the sniper rifle that I was talking about earlier. The only other weapon that headshots on, that kills on headshots from any range.
Ain't that the truth? Thanks.
So we're gonna go ahead and go to the mission.
I think you'll like it. Yeah, you get into it real easy.
Thanks, Ralphie.
I should mention it, the Bolt Thrower, this red car, is modeled after the Smith Thunderbolt. No, the Ford Thunderbird. Now, Smith Thunderbolt is the name that it has in Mafia 2. But Ford Thunderbird is what it is. So here we're gonna kill some politician, and apparently we can't just go to him and kill him in person, but we can snipe him. So we're gonna go to an old prison and kill the guy. Of course there's like a lot of hoodlums there that live there, and they're gonna shoot at me. Because why wouldn't there be a whole bunch of guys with guns in a place? Now here I'm gonna leave the car here so that it's handy for the exit. The game actually remembers where I left the car. But the objective right now is behind here. Now this guy is gonna have multiple voice lines at the same time. Two voice lines at the same time. Nice. So now here is a very annoying mission. It's a shootout. It's a big shootout. And of course there are starts for this. There are several different ways to do it. There's a YOLO start that I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna go YOLO right now. Here I'm just gonna run through. Boys, we have a visitor.
Watch it. Coming for us.
You don't want to use that many shots in there. I'm scared of that guy. That guy is really annoying. There we go. Oh hey, they're shooting me. I am low on health, so I'm gonna need to do a walk on the wall here, so that doesn't, so I don't take full damage. we just shoot the lock and get out, and now we shoot these guys. And my car despawned. Oh god. My car despawned. That sucks. But this was the last use of the car anyway. So I guess that's fine. I'm just gonna hijack a car. Thankfully that was the last time we were supposed to use the car. There's something with like where you place the car, like if you place it in certain spots it despawns it, in other spots it doesn't. I thought for sure it wasn't gonna get despawned there, but I guess I was wrong. Now the next mission coming up is just for relaxation, where we're gonna steal some diamonds that are supposed to be cigars, stuff like that, whatever. So now here again, we're going to talk to Ralph first. Here's a nice skip. We can jump on top of the car so that we can talk to Ralph as soon as he's available, instead of waiting for him. And while Ralph is talking to himself, we can just talk to Vincenzo. Yeah, that guy is insane, I get it.
Hey, boy, so what'll it be?
Get Tom here a bat and a gun, and get us 2 Thompsons.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Vincenzo. Yeah, okay, we can do that. Thanks, Ralphie.
Thanks, Ralphie. So, Ralph just showed us how to get into this car over here. This is the other mission where we need a 4-seater, so we would not be able to use the bolt over here either. So it's only like 2 missions where we can't use it. But this car is fast enough. Not as fast as the bolt over, but fast enough. Here I'm gonna go forward a bit so the Sam doesn't get stuck, because his pathfinding really sucks, and he often goes behind the cars and then it gets stuck for a while. That sucks.
We're going to a place in the works quarter to drop sample.
So this guy is pretty fast, as you can notice. But it really doesn't want to steer. It has terrible turning, terrible steering. I'm not gonna trigger the cops right now. At least not the cop car. Okay. So now here I'm gonna try to do a small skip.
Okay, right here. This is perfect.
Since we're all here.
And I got it. So I entered the car right before entering the cutscene, so that means that I was already in the car at the end of the cutscene. I'm not supposed to do that, of course. And now my the door is open, but it will be fixed soon enough. It's only visual. It doesn't have any actual gameplay effect.
Now, wait here for a truck and then follow it. We'll overtake in a safe spot and take what we need.
Now here we just have to wait for a bit. It's not too long of a wait. We need to wait for the truck to get over here and then we'll just hijack it. Oh, you are not supposed to do that. There we go.
Get him! We gotta get those papers. Give me some papers and nothing will happen to you.
Oh god. There we go. Those are the papers. Now we would need to unload the truck. Here you will see me do a strategy that I actually came up with. It is my own contribution to this game. You see me walking backwards right while holding crates, and it doesn't have as much effect here as it does afterwards. Pretty much it's a small skip that saves a few seconds throughout the run. Nice AI. Oh god. What happens is the walking speed in this game is kinda weird. It's... For some reason, walking backwards and to the right is faster than walking forward or backwards or any other direction. Much faster, in fact. And that doesn't really have an effect on the run, but it does have an effect when carrying crates, which we are supposed to do in just a minute. So we are going to cut about a third of the time that we spent carrying crates. Which, if you just say it like this, it sounds like a huge skip. It's a few seconds. Because we don't carry a lot of crates. This is the only place where we'll be carrying crates. Those are the crates that we need.
Where are you going? Why are you standing around doing nothing? We need all hands on deck today. I need you to take those crates down to the dispatch hall. I'm gonna go take a leak, and it better be done when I get back.
Yes, Chief.
Backwards right. And then place the crates on the truck. That's much faster than going forward. And that's all the crate carrying that we're gonna do. We're gonna run over those guys so that we get fewer people chasing us in this next part. Actually, not all the runners know that running over those 3 guys makes it so that they can't chase you afterwards. It's very handy because we're probably gonna have to kill the chasers. That's usually the case. In fact, they're so close behind that we have to. Yep. Oh, that's bad. Okay.
Sam's going to get Salieri. Us two will take the truck to the warehouse. We'll meet there in a little while.
No, I am actually going to kill these guys first. Otherwise there will be a problem for Sam, and they might get my tires as well.
We're going.
There should be all of them, I think. They still got my tire, I think. It sounds like they still got my tire. Yeah, they did. Oh, that's not good. I was barely over 60, and they're still gonna chase. And with a truck, there's no chance of losing them, really. Okay, before this turns into a wanted, I'm gonna get rid of them. Oh, that might turn into a wanted actually. Police should probably come up, and it did turn into a wanted. That's really bad. See if we can lose it.
Today was just great. While you two messed around, I carried at least a ton of crates surrounded by guys with guns.
Oh, that might be bad.
Somebody had to do it, and you're the youngest. Sam always has the bright ideas.
Oh, so it's Sam. Next time, you can unload the truck. I ain't touching another crate.
Well, we'll see about that.
I'm really using camera glitch here, so that we don't get cop cars. Because that would not be ideal at all. I'm still getting cops on foot, even with the camera glitch. one bad thing about being wanted and with a gun is that the police might choose to make roadblocks. Now, thankfully they are not making roadblocks right now. That would just be terrible. That's a cop car, and I can't avoid it. So I'm gonna need it to be on my right. Or on my left, I guess. That can work. Yeah, made them crash, that's good. And there we go, that's mission complete. On to Moonlighting, which is the best mission in the game, for a very simple reason that we will be seeing in a bit. It's the train part hype.
Follow me. We'll take the train. It ain't far.
So here is the train part. Every runner is always excited about getting the train part. It's everyone's favorite part. Here comes the train part. I am excited about this. And here we go, the train part. It's gonna be like about 5 minutes on this train. It is not skippable. The runners actually looked into it, into skipping it. I myself have looked into it. But there are checks at each train station that check for proximity to the train. If you are not close enough to Polly, then you fail. Polly will always refuse to follow you, so to get into a car or anything like that, he just does not want to. So we cannot skip this, and we also need him to get to the next part of the mission. So skip it, but why would you want to skip it? It's the best part of the run. It's the train part. I'm gonna... I was thinking about grabbing water, but maybe later. We don't want to miss the train part, of course.
We still have the excitement.
Well, that's the worst. Well, it happens for 6 months. You start to get lazy and suddenly, boom, some action. Don't think ain't worried something might happen to us.
So what are we supposed to do?
This will be our last big job.
Why would you ever want to skip the train part?
Oh, really?
Wait a minute.
So this is the second to last mission. As you can tell, it's pretty long. We are essentially going to rob a bank. And Paulie is a master strategizer. He's really good at making plans. So we're going to go into the bank, discuss the plan to rob the bank inside the bank itself, then come back with the same clothes and with no masks on or anything, grab the money and escape. That's a great plan. He has always been the mind of the operation. I'm just the gun. That's who I am. We're almost there. It's the next train station. Train power type. Yeah, we're getting off here. Sadly, the train part is over. I know it was a world of excitement, but sadly it's over. Now we just have to follow Paulie all the way to the bank. And if we get too far away from him, he just stops and says, "Hey, where are you going? You're supposed to be following me." Anyway, after this mission, the run is almost over. That's the final mission. It's not too long, but it can go wrong. It can definitely go wrong. But it does look like we are on pace for a sub 3:30 at least. For a marathon run, or at least this has been pretty much like a marathon run. No resets on anything. Save stats on everything. For a marathon run, sub 3:30 is really a time that I want to be on. And here's the bank.
This is it. Ain't too big and ain't too small. Let's take a look inside.
Yeah, let's take a look inside. Yay.
Good day. Good day. You're gonna need to ask at the counter. You have to ask at the counter.
Yes, please. I'd like to take out $5.
Okay.
And your name
We'll
is?
start here in the hall. We want to hear him shout that it's a raid. Those two guards will probably just give up. If they want to play heroes, liquidate them. As soon as they're out of the way, we gotta get the keys to the safe. We'll have to find out where they are.
What's that supposed to mean? That's it. I'm through with this
Guns at
bank.
their
I
heads.
can't
You go through that door, behind the counter. After you get the key, the door leads to a corridor. On the right is a staircase down to the safe, and upstairs to the office. You have the keys, go straight to the safe. Otherwise, you have to get them somewhere upstairs. Downstairs, there will probably be more security guards. You'll have to deal with them alone while I keep everything in check upstairs. Downstairs, there's a large safe that you got on lock. Then you just gotta get the dough and get out. That's everything.
Okay.
Let's go. You better get out of here.
Leave me alone, please. I'm waiting for an important meeting.
You're gonna need to ask at the counter. You have to ask at the counter.
You know,
Goodbye.
restaurant, dance hall, picture house. I want to give the people who
Oh, don't get stuck. Come on. Oh god. Oh hey.
The bank is connected to the home security system. Even with radio, cars can't get here for 5 minutes. That means we'll have 5 minutes.
What do you think Tommy is looking at? I'll do the bank.
We need some wheels. It's stupid to get a car from Ralphie, because he'll tell Salieri. You'll have to get a good fast set of wheels, Tommy. For you, that shouldn't be a problem.
No, it shouldn't. I think Lucas would know something.
Okay.
What is he looking at?
Get something fast. We'll need it.
He's looking at the woman.
Just let us leave.
Sure.
Even if we get out of the bank in time, we'd still meet the cops in the city.
Nice head turning.
Led to an abandoned joint right in Hoboken. That's Palmero Club written on the wall.
Great.
Still a little problem with guns. I have my own stuff. You don't. We'll need to get some kind of heater. I think I know a place where you can pick one up.
Where's that?
It's pretty far. It's probably best to go by train.
We're not gonna go by train on this one.
Get off the
Sadly.
Central Hoboken station. I'm going the direction from which you came by the train to the nearest crossroads. Under the elevated railway, there's a road. Follow that and turn left at the next road. You'll see an old movie house called the Twister. At the side entrance, you'll find Yellow Pete Shop. Tell him I sent you. You should have something.
I'll do that now. I'll get some weapons, then the car, then I'll stop by your place.
Yeah. Pull in front of the building and honk your horn. The janitor's always locking the door. I'll come down and we'll go. I'll see you later.
And let's go. So first of all, we need to trigger the next part of the mission, and then we'll go find the car. Hopefully we get a fast one. Let's see what RNG we get. What car RNG we get. This is a slow one. Ideally we're looking to get a light. Oh, a Laffiter BCC in 4 though, that's even better. That's the best spawn that we can get. There we go, this is the best car that we can get, and it's a big time save to actually get this in front instead of the one in front over there. Big time save. It's much faster. So we have to get some weapons. We're gonna go to a nearby weapons dealer. Probably said to go by train, but this is faster. Turning on the engine for data.
What do you want? Paulie sent me. Oh, come in.
Oh, what do you want? Oh, come in. And here's the guy.
Okay. Son, what brings you here?
Paulie sent me. Need some weapons.
Right. Paulie. Yeah, I know him. At least I think I know him. That short, moody guy, right?
You could say that.
Still working for Salieri?
Yeah.
Well, give that old Goomba my regards.
Sure, yeah, I'll give that Ogumba your regards,
Anyway,
sure.
the weapons.
Sure. Yeah, so what does Paulie need?
We just need a Thompson, and that's
That
it.
should be everything.
Great. I won't keep you from your work, son. Now you say hello to Paulie for me, huh?
Sure. Thanks.
We will need this pistol. And now we can go to Paulie's house. If you were thinking of a sequence breaking it, so that we would just go to Paulie's house before buying the weapons, you can't do that. You go to Paulie's house and you honk the horn and he's like, hey, did you buy your weapons? And you're like, no, I did not buy my weapons. And he's like, well, go do that now. And sort of. Yes, we did look into that. we looked into almost everything. Now here we really don't want to get cops. Even though we have the fast car. Like the fastest we could get here. But we still don't want to get cops. And not just because we're gonna rob a bank. Oh, cops. Oh, God. Okay, so first of all, I don't want this cop over here to give me any problems. And now, before he turns into a wanted, nice. I really don't want to get cops in this part. They're just too much of a hassle. Honk the horn so that Paulie can come down. You can see him in the window up there. And there he comes. We can finally go rob the bank. Still don't want cops though.
So what? Everything's in order? Got everything you need?
Yeah. Hey, that yellow Peter's a little nuts.
He's no loony, but his stuff's good.
Why they call him yellow?
You see his teeth? They're the yellowest in town. And they also stink the most.
Right.
Ooh, that was close. Those cops were close. And we're here. Let's go do this.
Okay, let's go.
I hear there's gonna spawn a guy right there. Then I need to kill a guy over here. Paulie is stuck. That's bad, I think.
No, please have mercy, don't kill me.
I think Paulie is stuck. We need to kill the guard that would potentially kill Paulie. There he is. And this guy is not spawning. I think something has gone wrong with the triggers. So I'm just gonna reload.
Everybody! It's a heist. Get down on the floor, nothing will happen to you. I said on the floor! Everybody!
Oh, please don't die, Paulie. That guy does a lot of damage, so he can kill Paulie in like 2 shots. We do not want that to happen. You can gamble it and not kill him, but it's much safer to just kill him.
But only the manager has keys to the safe.
While Polly is having his conversation over there, we're already about to breach into the safe. Into the vault. Oops. I need to go in there to like trigger him to come. Jesus Christ, I have a wife and kids. Yeah, whenever you get a wife and kids, that should be your reaction. Jesus Christ, I have a wife and kids. Okay. Oh, the cops. They did not flip. I think we can just kill them. Fortunately, the destination, the objective is like right around the corner here.
First thing, I gotta lose these cops.
Can I get in? Thank you. Now here it's actually possible to get arrested during the cutscene, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
We're loaded, Tom. We did it. It worked.
Sure looks like it.
So we're good to go.
Change our clothes so they won't pick us up on the street. Put the dough in the briefcase.
We're on to the final mission.
Sleep on it. Stop by tomorrow. Think about what we're gonna do with the dough. I'll take it with me, so Siren won't find it. You know?
Just don't run off with it.
Sure. I'll take off to Hawaii.
Don't try it. I'd find you and stuff that metal-plated briefcase down your throat.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, last mission. So what this is Don Salieri has come to know that we betrayed him like a couple of times. So Polly is dead, and we're gonna meet Sam. However, like Tommy doesn't know that Sam knows that he betrayed them, so I think Sam is there to like as a savior or something, but Sam just wants to kill Tommy. Story. Plot. An interesting thing about having a cop car is that you can actually go over the speed limit without triggering cops. However, if you go over 105 kilometers per hour, you still get the cops chasing you. But between 60 and 105, they don't trigger. I guess cause they think you're a cop or something, I don't know. I don't know why that is. Like you see, I'm 90 and I just went right in front of a cop. And he didn't say anything. So this is a big shootout. We do have stats for that, of course. Now the first thing that's gonna happen is there's gonna be a cutscene right... Oh god. Oh god. I don't know if I can trigger the mission now.
I gotta shake off those cops.
I cannot.
It ain't no good having cops on my ass. First thing, I gotta lose these cops. I gotta shake off those cops.
They're very confused.
It ain't no good having cops on my ass.
They are confused now. This is weird. Okay. I'm just gonna lose the cops. I'm just gonna lose the cops, whatever. I don't have a gun to fight them with. I mean, I have a really weak pistol with only 6 shots. And all of that was because of running a red light, apparently. Ah, cops. You're still there. Wait, I think they got away. Let's see if I can trigger this. We've lost enough time to cops already. Okay, now this cutscene, I need to skip it when I see Tommy's forehead. Otherwise, there's a chance to soft lock. Here you go down the stairs and up the stairs, so that some guy throws a grenade that kills everyone, and pick up the gun and shoot this guy. This is all very fast paced. Now I need to shoot this guy up here, and take his gun, and shoot the guy over there, shoot the guy here, shoot the guys in here. All going very fast, otherwise enemies will catch up to me. The objective says kill all of the bastards. You don't need to kill all of the bastards, you just need to go to some specific triggers. No need to actually kill everyone. But we are gonna kill people in our way. We need to kill Sam. Here I'm gonna wait a bit and then take the health. A grenade is gonna blow up, but I am invulnerable while taking the health, so the grenade doesn't actually kill me. I want him dead. There we go. That's enough. Here's the final boss, Sam. I might get people in behind me as well. I just need to damage him a lot. Okay, he's damaged enough, now I just need to go after him. And we're almost done with the game. Time. Oh wow, I accidentally pressed the... Whatever. I'm sure I'll be able to see the time in the VOD, but I think it was sub 3:30 or around 3:30, which is a fine marathon time, I guess, for all those mistakes and bad stuff.
Hey, it's the same situation
anyway,
again, Tom. And once again, you can't decide.
We're gonna watch the final cutscene because it's pretty good, and and I do hope that Mafia will be accepted into AGDQ. I really think this is an interesting run. Apart from like the missions up to fair play, every mission has some kind of really cool skip or really cool strat to make everything go fast, even though the game itself is long. But there have been longer runs at AGDQ before, like 8 hours of Final Fantasy VIII at AGDQ 2017. So I don't think the length of the run is too much of a deterrent to actually submit a run.
You rat. You're dangerous, Tom. And Paulie is dead. He was never sure that you wouldn't forgive his death. Oh, you're gonna have to hide like an outcast and one day they'll get you. All the same. Like Frank.
They found him?
Only lengthened his life. But in the end, they found him. All the same. And Frank was the Don's only real friend. Friendship ain't worth shit.
Friendship ain't worth shit. The line is like...
So it was you again, huh? You destroyed the picture collection, worth a few $1 million?
I wasn't planning on it, but somehow it worked out that way.
Otherwise, that's everything?
I got out of there fast. It was no picnic. I really was in danger, but I pulled it off. I took the wife and daughter and immediately left the country. Sam was right. If they decided to find Frank in Europe and take revenge almost 5 years after he disappeared, they wouldn't let me just leave after betraying them.
And you're willing to say all that you've now said to me in front of a court? Give evidence against all those men? Don't you think the situation will be a lot worse for you? What you're planning to do now isn't betrayal. It's more like treason.
If these people go to jail, or better yet, death row, they won't be able to take revenge on me. At least not as easily as if they were free. I am willing to give evidence against them if you ensure our protection, and after the trial, a new identity for me, my wife, and my daughter.
If we manage to pull it off, it'll be the biggest legal battle this country's ever seen. It's an interesting offer. I don't know if it's moral to help somebody like you, but I think the results will be worth it. I think we'll help you.
Oh, that's cool. My sum of best, sub 310.
Everything worked out until the legal case. I sat in my cell and wrote down the evidence I had against all the people I had worked with. People I had been friends with for 10 years. The case was huge and caused a shock throughout the country. Salieri got life. Even some of his thugs got the chair. The shortest sentence was 8 years. I spent the whole time in a closed cell at a secret location, with no visitors. I didn't see Sarah or my little girl the entire time. In the end, it was worth it. Norman got us new identities and moved us to the other end of the U.S. I got work as a driver for a respectable company. We started a whole new life. This piece was only interrupted by the war, but we got through it.
We see the bolt tower again. After using it that much. Here it is. It's slightly different from the one that you use in game, like it has a different hood ornament and some different stuff.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes?
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
You know,
Rip.
The world isn't run by the laws written on paper. It's run by people. Some according to laws, others not. It depends on each individual how his world will be, how he makes it. And you also need a whole lot of luck, so that somebody else doesn't make your life hell. And it ain't as simple as they tell you in grade school. But it is good to have strong values and to maintain them in marriage, in crime, in war. Always
and everywhere.
I messed up. So did Paulie and Sam. We wanted a better life, but in the end, we were a lot worse off than most other people. You know, I think it's important to keep a balance in things. Yeah, balance, that's the right word. Because the guy who wants too much risks losing absolutely everything. Of course, the guy who wants too little from life might not get anything at all.
The end. I think before ending this video, I'm actually going to do something really quick. Just a more showcase, I guess. I am going to do a really short run of tutorial percent. It's not an actual category. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. Anyway, it's not an actual category. Oh. Whatever, that'll be fine, I guess. I need to... Okay, now. Tutorial percent is like 5 minutes, so... I did a run of the full game as well.
Okay, kid. Here's where you're gonna learn what it takes to be a real mafioso. Every wise guy has a compass in his head, telling him which way and where to go. So, follow your inner compass, and go to the stage with the table on it. Are you sure you're not being followed? All right. Now, climb up on the stage. Be careful not to rip your suit. Well, you got yourself dirty climbing up here anyway, so you may as well practice a side roll. You're no good to the Don if you get shot. Now go to the table. When you're next to the table, the exclamation mark will appear in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. It's the action button. The action button symbol indicates that you can perform an action or interact with the environment. Here, you can take the guns from the table. Go on, do it. You can perform one more action on stage. See what you can find.
Hello.
Blood.
Is anyone home?
Stop making a fool of yourself. It's time to get on with more serious business. Choose a weapon from your inventory. Let's see how you handle a gun. Shoot the cans off of the table. Always remember to reload, just in case you get into trouble. But remember, when you throw away a magazine or empty a chamber that isn't completely empty, you will lose the unused You should also be prepared to switch weapons as quickly as possible. Just because you're part of the Mafia doesn't mean that you can walk around waving a gun. The police will arrest you if they see you carrying a gun. Hide your weapon now. Now, take the baseball bat from the table. You can't carry and hide all of the weapons under your coat. If you have a large weapon like a shotgun hidden, but are also carrying another one, and you spot a policeman, you're just gonna have to throw it away to avoid attention. Okay, you're gonna need that bat, so pick it up again. The police won't give you any trouble if you're carrying a bat, even if you might use it to, say, knock someone out. See that guy over there? Walk up behind him and knock him out cold, as hard as you can. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Now, to get around the city, you're gonna need to know how to drive. Walk over to that car. You're able to steal any car that you come across, but only if you've been shown how to get into it. Try to pick the lock on the car door. Make sure that the police don't spot you when breaking into cars. Now, get in the car. When you get in a car, a radar will be displayed next to the compass. It shows other vehicles that are in your surrounding area. And it'll also display your destination when you're close enough. Drive to the place indicated.
This is fun.
Okay. Every car has a speed limiter. When used, it will allow you to drive at maximum speed limit allowed and not exceed it. Use this to avoid worrying about being stopped by the police for exceeding the speed limit. The police will appear as blue cars on the radar. Turn on the limiter when you drive in the direction indicated by the compass. You can shoot from a car while driving, but can only use handguns. Choose a Colt and try it. If someone steps into the road in front of you, you should warn them by sounding the car horn. Now listen up. In our line of work, you don't want to draw attention to yourself. So be aware of the police patrolling the city. If you commit a minor offense, a symbol of a fine will be displayed. Simply stop and pay the fine, then you can be on your way. When you're spotted committing a serious offense, a handcuff symbol will be displayed. You can try to evade the police, but if they catch you, you'll be arrested. Lastly, always keep your weapons hidden when out in the city. If the police detect shots being fired, a symbol of a gun will be displayed. You'll now be wanted by all of the police in the area, and they will return fire. How you're gonna get out of that situation is up to you. That's it. From now on, it's down to you to see what you make of yourself.
Easy peasy. Nice. Okay, so that was 12% meme category, not actually a category. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.